was cool to see. So
I bring that up because I like the design of Prospectors. In a case like this where the 7 bonus tiles, we have like dwelling scoring, trading post scoring, and ship scoring. They're generally not very good in round 1. And so
yeah,
that makes first seed kind of sad. But then you have Prospectors, which can use the 6 coins super well in the first round. And that kind of opens up, I think, more space for all factions to have a good opening.
totally. Chaos. So we've got Chaos in C2, Wisps, and then Parrots, Chashdala in seat 4. So this really makes Prospectors look even nicer here with no color neighbor.
I also had a fan of Chashdala in the chat as well, I believe. I think Zvox said his opinion is that Chashdala should be ranked 2 tiers higher than, but
They can be very good. Ever since they got their 2-coin base income back, their economy is very, very strong. It's just about turning it into points.
I have a couple of fast bids coming in. Prospectors. Chaos also has a bid. The other one with no color neighbors. But Chash is looking pretty good. No, did they start with a dwelling rush maybe with a temp ship?
Yeah, that would be the logical opening, I think, for them. And then I would imagine Wisps. I guess Wisp could take the priest, but probably will take big building tile because since they get spades from TPs, having extra workers early on is really nice.
The priest of water is also looking pretty nice for Wisps, though.
That is true, especially if they wanted to go with like they could go for the 2 TPs, 2 dwellings opening, especially with the temple round 2, and just hold off. But then getting some supplementary priest from the cult would be nice since they're not going to open with the temple.
I think I'm seeing some serious neighbor issues for Wisps, though, because D5 is going to get trapped. Chash is going to start C3, take temp ships. So do they start G6 and E4 maybe?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, that is a little tricky. I do think G6 is probably quite interesting for them here and just plan to play disconnected. They could also just start on D2 and either try to wait for chaos to come over or just build an expensive trading poster or two. I found for Wisp though that expensive trading posts aren't as bad as they are for other factions because they're sort of just pretend you're paying for the spade cost with those extra.
For sure. Like instead of taking double spade, just take the 6 power, split it into 2, and pay for 2 expensive TPs.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think they're pretty clear the 40 faction here.
Yeah, I think that's right. I do also like Chaos's position here because I do think they have a decent chance of getting the center town.
Yeah,
and anytime they can do that, they're going to be in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, especially with the dwelling rush start that the Parrots are going for. That leaves them with less incentive to dig E7 unless somehow they get double dig and Chaos can prioritize it, I think.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see if Chaos would float E7 because unless they take ship scoring, which they're probably not going to want to do, then they'll be 1 power short unless Prospectors upgrade next to them with the first action of the game. And so the question is then, do they float E7?
If Wisps take Priest for Priest of Water, I like Chaos big building and just go double dig, hard dig, worker dig E7 first move.
Yeah, that could work.
If Prospectors give them power, they could single dig too.
Right. Yeah.
Seems like pretty good games for everyone except Wisps. Still not seeing a great plan for them.
I think if Wisps, yeah, there's no gray either. So even the thing is, even G6 is going to have a little bit of neighbor trickiness because Prospectors might just want to start on H7 and dig G5 with their first action and sort of go the opposite way of how you normally go.
Yeah, to protect G5 and also protect H7 because Wisps could potentially dig that
right
direction.
Right, but that means then a wisp on G6 needs an extra spade to get any dwelling off of G6, which just makes it a little more complicated.
Mhm. Yeah, but like yeah, I think the disconnected plan that you said is probably looking the best option. It's not a great option, but you have the town at G6, F7, E11, E10, and then you have like the D2, C1, D1, E1 town with two expensive TPs, and then maybe go like H2, H3, I4 with another two expensive TPs or something, or
Yeah, or wherever you can find some neighbors late in the game for a third town. Maybe. The one thing that is nice is they can build, I mean, it would be off track, but they can build a stronghold at some point and use that flight to throw a dwelling somewhere that they might be able to build a third town off of without having to invest a bunch in shipping.
I think the couple of times I have undervalued wisps has been like when they start at 40 and they don't look great, but somehow they just maybe like take Earth 1 and then score a couple of points that way, score a couple on the track, and like play disconnected, play the coats a bit. But it feels like they do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, like score 7 points from their stronghold and stuff, and still put up a respectable score, like without network points.
Yeah, well, they're especially if they can get some cult points because their economy is pretty good with all those built-in spades. So I feel like they can do that. The one thing I'm looking at with Parrots here is they might also have a bit of a neighbor problem for a little while, at least until Chaos can expand a little bit. Because they'll probably have neighbors on F4 and C3, but
Mhm.
everything beyond that, depending on exactly how Prospectors expand in the East.
Mhm.
Because I think because like if they do a dwelling rush here, what you'd probably want to do is build ideally like some TPs or maybe TP Temple, TP, something like that in round two, which I guess they'll have enough neighbors to be able to do that, but maybe not in super ideal spots.
Mhm. Yeah. It's pretty interesting that today we have a track without any TP scoring though. So they also don't feel as pressure to do that, as opposed to say if we had a
True.
TP scoring round 3, where they would really like to get up through a 4 trading
Yeah,
posts
I guess that's
to
right.
hit
I
that.
guess they could just build like one temple and then maybe this is a game where they invest on the income track.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's like a favorite of many people, including me, where you do a dwelling rush round 1 and then you just max out income track round 2, and you just have like all the resources to score in the later rounds.
Yeah.
I think one thing that you would like to see with that though is like a round 5 or round 6 TP scoring, where you just
Yeah.
yeah, stack up resources and the early rounds and you don't build up too much, and they absolutely explode in round 5 and round 6.
Yeah, the
Which
late game
you know,
scoring for them is a little suboptimal this game.
it's probably suboptimal for most factions, right? Maybe Chaos. Chaos can hit that round 5 dwelling pretty well, especially with like no color
Yeah.
enabled.
Prospectors might be able to hit it decently well too, coming off the coin cult reward in round four.
Mm. Yeah, we might see prospectors play a more TP heavy. They're usually TP heavy anyway, but even more like leaning towards that
Right.
TP and tempo heavy game in round 3, round 4, and then finally go on to expanding and then connecting in round 5.
Yeah, I feel like if prospectors can just get a town and build some TPs and temples on those structures in round three, then they can expand in round five.
How easy do you think it's going to be for the non-prospector factions to hit that round 3 town? Because for prospectors, it's basically trivial.
Yeah, yeah. I think Wisps can do it. Um, they'll need they can do it off of G6. They'll just need to find probably a single spade power action in the first couple rounds, but otherwise then I think they can do it. I think for Parrots and Chaos it might be a little trickier. If Chaos are going to do it, it's going to be that center town, and maybe they'll get enough leech that they can do it, but that's really the only way that's going to happen, I think.
Yeah, I think Leech is going to be a little rough, maybe for everyone, because the Dwelling Rush starts don't usually lend themselves to great
Yeah,
Leech
yeah,
opportunities compared to the ones where you have a triangle and everyone's upgrading. I think that's also my one big worry with Parrots game plan is that you start Dwelling Rush and then you max out income track, but somewhere along the way you would very much like to get a coins action. And it's a little hard, especially with like chaos in the game too, where like they only have one building to start. It might be a little hard to put together that 8 power necessary.
yeah.
Well, I guess 6 more power if we like take temp ship round 1 and do like single dig on C5. Then that leaves you with 2 power in bow 2, and then you need to get 6 more.
Yeah. You know, the other thing I just thought of for Parrots though is if they can manage, I guess it's not that likely. I was thinking if they were able to get a couple power, like double dig in round 1 looks like it's kind of wide open
Mm-hmm.
potentially.
Mm-hmm.
And so if Parrots don't, maybe they go for a slightly less of a dwelling rush because if they can get a double, if they could double dig D5 E7 is basically what I'm looking at. That would
Mm-hmm.
be awesome. It doesn't seem completely impossible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, not chaos is gonna take E7 though, right? But they can
Right,
still like
probably. Yeah. I guess the thing is for Parrots to get the leech that they would need to get double dig, it would require prospectors probably upgrading in a way that
Mhm,
also gives chaos a power, most likely. So yeah,
mhm. Yeah.
probably not.
But the double dig still can go on H4, C5. Agree that's
Yeah,
wide open. And I think the bidding should reflect that Parrots are going to get double dig, be able to build 6 dwellings that they want, but that puts them at 3 coins. And then they'll need a source of coins. Like it'd be great if they could pass on to the 6 coin tile from the prospectors. So there's going to be a bit of a like maybe a dig no builds kind of thing, or maybe like forego one dwelling and pass early to get onto the 6 coin type situation.
yeah. Or even even dwelling scoring, which at that point will have 3 coins on it, plus a bunch of points because they have a bunch of dwellings built, would be
Mhm.
pretty good too.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking that prospectors would also be eyeing that tile to a certain extent, depending on their round 2 game plan. Like if they're putting up trading posts, maybe they prefer to pass on to the trading post tile instead. But if they're like doing tempo and then keeping on the dwellings that they built in round 1, then they could also potentially want that dwelling scoring tile.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I guess the thing is almost whoever passes first might take the dwelling scoring tile just because it might be the most interesting one left. And
Yeah.
I don't think prospectors or parents are
Yeah.
going to be passing
Mhm.
first. I think it's going to be one of the other two. So
That makes sense. Yes. Yeah. The other thing is that the bonus tiles today are like it's like the lowest power set almost. Like really the only way you can go low power is to swap out the 6 coins for 4 coins and a code set because we're
yeah,
missing the spade or like swap out the big building.
yeah,
We're missing the spade, we're missing the worker power, which is pretty strong in round 1, and yeah, and the 4 coins.
cold coins. Yeah, nice. The 4 scoring tiles though does make up a little bit for the maybe slightly, as we said, suboptimal late scoring rounds. So the pass tiles could be really important for late game scoring this game.
Mm. And,
How far do we think prospectors are going to go here? We're now
um,
25. Oh, well, there we go.
I was gonna say a bit more. I was gonna say a bit more, but I think Fruity Harris did not quite agree with that.
Yeah, he said, let's go. Let's play."
And it is a D5. D5 is going to be
Yeah,
crap, but
interesting.
it is placed on upgrade. This is actually kind of bad break for Chaos because they have nowhere to throw that spade. It's going on E8, isn't it?
Oh, look at that. Parrots went on C4 instead of D5. So now Wisps can D5 and just throw a dig on C3. I mean, they'd have to risk that Parrots dig it back, but I don't think Parrots would.
Yeah,
Ooh,
what was the
H4.
Was it like a protection against H4? This looks a little odd. I think the C3 G3 start is basically guaranteed to get C4 and F4. So I'm not quite sure why like if the green dwellings just swapped across the river
Yeah,
both.
yeah,
Not sure if I'm missing some line that allows blue to take one of the greens. Yeah, I don't think so. Unless it's like they're afraid of blue going priest, and then like up ship round one, and then just like hard digging one of their greens in round two. Like up ship first move, and hard digging one of their greens second move. Um, I think this might be a miscalculation on the Parrots' part.
yeah,
Like it does seem a lot better if they just swapped their two
yeah.
dwellings across the river.
C4 instead of C3 particularly
Mm.
stands out as a little strange to
Yeah,
me.
but also they could defend G3 pretty well by just starting there.
By just starting
And
there, yeah,
then shifting to
yeah,
F4. C3 also gives you all the leech from the Chaos upgrade, which they are not going to get unless Chaos goes dig E7 and the upgrade E7 instead of D4.
right. Maybe they were hoping by not starting on G3 that Wisps would not start on H4 at all.
I see a potential likely explanation in chat that perhaps they like had a slight blank and confused Wisps with mermaids.
Yeah, yeah,
Which
maybe.
then this would be the
Oh, hello.
oh fireworks already. This kind of throw the evaluations out the window. Like
Oh man. I mean, that's obviously really bad for chaos.
really, really bad for chaos. It's like, man.
I really like after these openings and that move, I now really like Wisp's position, actually.
Mm.
Because he
Yeah.
gets C3 here. Losing
Mm.
G3, I mean, isn't even that bad, right? Because he can just dig H5 and now he has neighbors to build a town down here in the center.
Yeah, and the two greens don't really have development prospects. Like they could dig G2 and then build a bridge. That's like equivalent to 3 digs. That's so many.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly.
Yeah, there seems to be a little discussion on whether E7 was
A good move or not.
is a good move.
Yeah.
I've seen this before, but I kind of like neglected the
Yeah,
possibility.
I admittedly didn't really think about it either, but I think we should have. The one thing that's really nice about it too is it gives, you know, 3 power back. And so now Eirik turned around and was able to take the coins action and can now build, 2 more dwellings. So this is quite nice.
It does also solve the connection issue right away. It makes the town a lot easier.
Yeah.
Part of the consideration might be that F5 does not have a neighbor, which, like, say, if Wisps were to play G6, then Prospectors could go after their round 3 town there.
Yeah, that's a
But
good point.
this sets up their round 3 town a lot
Right.
easier,
And they can wait to
nicely.
develop F5 until green makes their way over there.
Yeah. I did recall, but I could be misremembering that I did not think this move was very good in one of the games I played where this move happened. I'm not sure if like I played it or someone else played it, and I don't even recall the result, but it's definitely a line that exists.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because I always think of for prospectors the opening round triple dig. I always think of it on Fire and Ice. There's the spot on the kind of the center east of the continent where it goes brown, gray, brown, and that triple dig to me makes a lot more. I mean, more frequently maybe makes sense. I think I kind of like this move right now for prospectors. We'll see where it goes, but on Fire and Ice, I really like that move for prospectors.
I think it also has a lot of little stuff going for it. Like it's getting a great ton of leech with
Yeah,
D5, F4, D4 all being upgraded. That E7 spot is just soaking it up. And I think this will position Brown pretty well in this game.
yeah. Not to mention just obviously taking a hex that two other people want, and the connection piece that you mentioned, they really could have actually had quite a tricky time connecting with those with all the action in the center south. So this nips that in the bud too. So where do we think Chaos goes from here?
Yeah, I'm coming back to look at Chaos's game. It's rough. They don't have their round 3 town. They don't have great scoring opportunities until round 5 with like the dwelling explosion.
Yeah.
And then without the town, they also have like yeah, cult issues. Someone else could grab 2 key before them just for like the sake of it. Yeah, it's not looking great.
And they're not
During the
even
bidding,
getting a cult reward. I mean, maybe if they take water too, but they're not getting a good cult reward this round either.
yeah, yeah. Codes are also not great. Round 6 giving you power from the fire code. Not particularly attractive either. Chaos might have already like, burned down to be able to burn down too much to be able to take full advantage of that by then.
So man, so Parrots just went and took single dig instead of trying to wait further for double dig, which now means that the Wisps might actually have a shot at double dig if they want it.
I'm not seeing any more up. Oh no, there is the upgrade.
Yeah, this sanctuary.
Ooh, a Wisps double dig. They could actually put that to some use.
Yeah, I feel like
I,
they could put it on I9 or I8 probably would make sense.
mhm. It doesn't connect them, but
No.
yeah, that might not be a huge concern for them. And it's just helps them develop a bit.
Yeah. The other option, I guess, is like a bridge to B3 if they really wanted to make sure they can go there, but that's not under a lot of threat. I feel like, yeah, this TP for H5 and then building more out down there is pretty nice.
Yeah, they don't exactly need a double spade for it though, and maybe they prefer to keep it for some greater flexibility next round, like for coins and for yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I guess they're a little low on workers. Workers action could be nice for them.
We did see prospectors take workers, so Eirik is already going on a very explosive start, burning power down to 4 tokens already, and building 1 more dwelling and 2 more TPs. Really getting that economy.
Yeah.
This is a very, very strong economic start for prospectors. They also get 2 more. They also get 2 tempos next round if that's perhaps what he's looking for.
Yeah, I would think so. The 2 TPs here to finish this out is just really quite pretty.
We're talking at how Chaos had like a back break, and also during the bidding, the Parrots were pretty close to catching up to Chaos in number and like the amount bid down, I think, or maybe like Parrots already overtook Chaos at the end. But I really don't like Chaos's position right now. I fear they may be the one that's most likely looking at 4th place.
Yeah. I think they're gonna need some breaks from here.
They could sometimes do something with the scoring tiles. There is the ship score
Yeah.
that they could try to hit a couple times. Uh, the reds will probably be open in round 5, so there's that. They're gonna get some leech on D4. There's there's a couple of stuff coming their way.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about what they even do next round. They really need shipping. obviously. I mean, they could pass on to ship scoring right now. Try to take like coins action, priest action, and advance two ships.
It does look like that was what Chaos was considering just now. I think we saw a pass onto ship, but then an undo.
Yeah.
Maybe double checking if there's any other lines, but I think that's the strongest. Pass on to ship score, and yeah, first move take priests. Well, depending. But if they could get both priest and well, I think this was a mismanagement of the power tokens. This was a burn before the pass.
Yeah.
Don't think
I don't think he wants to
wants
do
to do
that.
this. But maybe I think this should be another undo, otherwise it would spell this would actually spell disaster, burning the power tokens accidentally on BGA. But going back to your point, the two ship, I think, along with a dwelling, if they can get both coin action and priest action, there's undo, is pretty good. You build on A6. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, sets him up then if he can subsequently get a double dig for like D3, B4. He's at least got access to his natural reds, which is a good place to be in.
And he decided to go for dwelling score. So this to me speaks that Chaos wants to send priest to cult instead. So they're not going to have the priest to spend for shipping upgrades.
Which is a little surprising to me.
Yeah, like maybe it's partially driven by the round 2 cult reward being priest coins.
I guess. I don't know. That coin seems like kind of, especially if you were able to take the coins action, kind of seems like the least of his problems right now. But
and perhaps they're looking to play a more cult heavy game. And
yeah, that to me feels like maybe more of the explanation is just he feels like that's if he wants to have a chance, it's going to be on the Colts.
I think I'd vote for the ship score line, but it does require getting both priest and coins, and that might not be true. There is another consideration is that prospectors are going to give chaos power, and so maybe they do not waste that power. And so this would be like 2 extra coins at a cost of quite a lot of points, though. If like the chaos line is still to take priest, take coins, and increase ship twice, it is giving up a fair amount of points. But maybe not if you pass on the ship score round 3 instead. So it's there's a lot of downstream.
Yeah, you never know.
Uncertainty.
Well, and also maybe he was thinking that other people, either prospectors or Parrots would have both been more interested in the dwelling scoring. So he does deny.
Yeah, a block also. Yeah, because for prospectors it's at least 3 points, and for Parrots it can be a lot of points. Yeah, but yeah, I think this power was maybe the main consideration here, giving him like wanting to take advantage of this 2 for 3 that is telegraphed by prospectors.
Yeah.
Prospectors pass on to not a great tile. Not a great tile if you want to do a double tempo.
Yeah, not great. It doesn't line up with the round for sure.
But you could do like 1 tempo, 1 TP, and another dwelling. You might not have coins for that. There's the coins. Yeah. Any consideration of anyone blocking chaos for priest? I think Wisps could potentially do it.
Could.
It's not bad. They could like want to fight cults too. They're not connected. They might not be connected. They might have to make a play for cults. They could go for Chuki Town ahead of chaos if they were angling for that. And the priest is actually a pretty hefty block on chaos's plan right now. But maybe chaos is like not viewed as a threat by Wisps.
Earth 1.
There is that.
I mean, that actually maybe
there is that consideration.
If they can keep Earth 1 out of the hands of prospectors, that's actually there's some value in that.
Yeah, there was also that potential Earth One pressure because both Parrots and Prospectors have TPs up ready to take their Earth One in this tempo round.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like they already have a lot of dwellings built, but also it complements their round 5 scoring pretty nicely. That's really the aside from the bonus tiles, aside from the 4 scoring bonus tiles, the round 5 dwelling scoring is really where a large bulk of the points are to be made late game.
Yeah. Well, unless you're planning on building another temple in round 3 or 4, then this is when you get it.
Yeah. And it's probably when it goes because I think Prospectors would almost certainly take it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So
it's
now parents are debating, I'm
Mhm.
sure, whether or
Yeah.
not to take it.
Yeah. I always feel some like tension here because I think the part of the reason that Wisps took Earth One was to potentially block Prospectors off it. And then like if I were Parrots right now, I'd be feeling the eyes of Wisps on me and going like, I need your cooperation.
Yes.
And then if I decide, no, that's not my game plan, and I feel the heat, all imaginary, but oh, there is the Earth
There it
One,
is.
and we have Prospectors blocked out of Earth One.
Yeah.
Also, no coins action, so that's pretty cool. That's gotta teach the
Brings a
Prospectors.
little balance back to the game for sure.
There's two.
Earth 2, interesting. I would have guessed that was going to be Water 1. But maybe it means he's building a second temple here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's yeah, you have to decide between the second temple versus the second TP.
TP.
Yeah, like they kind of score the same right now, 4 points and 4 points. Um, and one you're getting 7 coins, one you're getting a priest and 3 coins. And you have that extra favor tile.
Yeah.
Yeah, the track doesn't tell you much otherwise because there's no more TP or tempo scoring for the rest of the game.
I bet it's a TP from Prospectors because he has to be thinking about getting that town next round. And if he builds another temple, I don't know if he has enough resources to do it.
I agree with that. That yeah, makes a ton of sense. And does it also give him a dwelling to make up for the lost worker? He needs 3, 4, 5, 9.
Yep.
He needs 9, so he needs half more power. Probably one more, like yeah, like uh two. Well, yeah, whether you call it 1 or 2, but like 2 more powers to be safe. He needs 9 coins to do TP and dig build.
Yep.
Would very much like that to happen, but I'm not seeing where it could happen at the moment, unless Parrots want to do an upgrade.
Yeah, probably not.
Going back to Chaos though, did get the priest action, the coins action, and the ship score is wide open.
Yeah.
Do we pass now? Do we up to ship build a dwelling, or do we just pass on to that ship score now and do like 3 ship upgrades?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe just pass.
I'm not sure if the dwelling is worth it at this point. Although there's a couple of other tiles that are attractive for the other factions too. No one's going to have ship. It's just for the resources. But this 9 points is so huge.
I feel like the thing for Chaos though is he really wants double dig for those 2 yellow hexes next.
But this 9 points is so huge.
I feel like the thing for Chaos though is he really wants double dig for those 2 yellow hexes next round. And if he has to wait, if he does all of his upgrades next round, by the time that he's able to do all of that, Parrots might have taken it from him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Whereas if he does the upgrades now, he might be able to do it first. Because I don't think Parrots are going to get any more leech this round.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And it does give you a build on A6 and any little yeah, any bit helps. But the double dig positioning is pretty big.
Yeah, although I guess Parrots could just pass onto a power tile and take it first. anyways. So Chaos might be screwed either way.
Yeah, but at least there's like other considerations, like what Parrots might want to do first. I don't see any tiles that are under threat though, but I think it's
I guess,
definitely
yeah, you talked about earlier how Parrots will really need a coins action in these first couple rounds, so I could see him prioritizing that too.
Yeah, there's various considerations for Parrots, but I think overall the general thought that like if you leave double dig out there for 2 or 3 actions, it's just that much more likely to
May
be
not stick around. Prospectors also did build the second temple, but took Fire 1. So we have double econ Prospectors.
Chaos set up ship. I like this. I'm liking this quite a lot for Chaos. There's another consideration that next round is round 3. So even if you hop onto the ship scoring tile, you could only get it 2 more times at most.
Yes.
So maybe you do it like at worst, you try to do it round 4, round 6. It's still something.
True. We also didn't mention Wisp did in fact double dig I9. They just did it this round instead of last round. I still like Fruity's position. Although I would have liked it better if he'd gotten first priest to air. Instead, he went to
I9 dig is a little interesting. Like, is this going to be a cheeky town I10, I11, H8, G6 around the prospectors that could just take away your hexes at any time?
Yeah, maybe. Although prospectors can
like
interfere with that pretty easily.
Do you dare go for such a cheeky build around the prospectors? It is a good spot though. It is a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
And it's really what base map needs more of for Wisps. The potential to do towns like this safely. Because
if it was cultists or time travelers, you would say for sure, let's go.
Yeah, but also the starting spots just don't lend themselves to the G6, H8, I11, I10 town very well or like at all. Whereas I think with like fjords, maybe there are a couple of spots where it's like, this is somewhat reasonably designed for Wisps to like build around with their natural ability. But that's out the window now. We see.
Now I think Parrots are going to take that town, which makes sense.
This is kind of making the I9 dig a lot less attractive for me. Like, yeah, I know they need a double dig there at some point, but this is kind of expensive, no?
Yeah, I might have tried for the bridge to B3, build the TP. But I guess he's gonna go this way. So now he's probably next round gonna build an expensive TP on I9 and just finish his town.
Okay, yeah.
This way. Which is
I guess that makes more sense than the B3 town, which as I'm looking at it now, it's harder to develop into a town next round in time for the town round.
Yeah. I think that's what you would have either needed like a double dig on B2 or I mean, I guess you probably will have a neighbor on A6 from Chaos, so you might have been able to do something. You could probably have done something somewhat similar to what you're doing down here.
Yeah. But yeah, on like a closer inspection, I'm liking Fruity's town setup very much.
Yeah. Prospectors were able to pass on to the 7 coins tile, by the way, and also didn't convert any power. So they're going to take coins action and be absolutely flush. So I don't think they're going to have any issues getting their town.
Everyone's getting what they want right now. Chaos also passed to ship score after upgrading ship twice and being able to do double dig. After building the dwelling too, so you can explode this round.
Yeah, no one is even threatened, right? Because Parrots took single dig, so. Is there a chance Prospectors could get 2 towns?
I don't think so. I think there's too much to build.
Yeah, I don't think they have enough coins. Even with all the coins they're going to have, I don't think it would be enough.
Yeah, 6 workers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If one of their favorite tiles was fire 2 last round, they could have done it. I think. but
that's
yeah.
right.
Because then they would need 1, 2, 3, 4 more dwellings and 1 TP. That is 11 coins plus 4 digs. 3 digs. Yeah.
Still too much. It's not that far off, but I think too much.
It'd have to be like fire 2 last round plus a coin town, and maybe at that point it's not worth it.
Yeah.
We have coins. Chash sends priest to earth. I think I'm starting to dislike Chash's position more and more. They're kind of, it's kind of looking rough on coins. They got probably the worst bonus tile. Like they got the worst deal of the bonus tiles out of all the factions. I don't think they're going to be able to use this temp ship to good effect this round.
No.
And they don't have income upgraded. Are they doing it this round? Is it too late by this round? They also don't have the town either. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be the only ones who don't get a town.
I think they're.
Oh, well, no, I guess Chaos is not getting a town.
Falling behind. Yeah. But Chaos has good things going for it.
Right.
One of which is the 9 points that they'll be scoring off the pass tile. Either 9 or 6, depending whether they want to do another upgrade or not.
Well, they have exactly enough to do a ship upgrade and build 3 more dwellings.
That's pretty amazing.
So that's pretty nice.
Yeah. And then coin, they will have an influx of coins around 5, so they could wait a while. Not much to do for scoring around 4.
Yeah, they could do if they've got a hard dig or something to do somewhere. Their town positioning is a little awkward.
Is it possible that we see a 0 town chaos this game?
Yeah, it's possible. I feel like in the end they might find like a D7 up through A12 or something funky like that. Yeah, maybe they triple dig.
Maybe like a dig upgrade towards the end. Like
yeah. I mean, when you get a big mid game dwelling rush, that's when you can see those late game dig upgrades.
There's the 2 key from Wisps.
Yeah, and Wisps now have these 3 TP sitting here, and they're on TP scoring, so that's pretty nice.
That is quite beautiful.
We are going to need to see either a ship upgrade or a bridge from Wisps here to use this Colt Spade, but that should be fine.
I was looking at this Priest to Fire too. Was thinking perhaps Wisps should have taken it before their town. I think
that's right. No one else was threatening the town.
I think that might be the most attractive use of the priest this round. I'm not liking the ship upgrade a lot. I think the bridge to B3 is necessary.
Yeah, the bridge probably makes more sense.
And with the I-10 town being like lost to the Parrots southern expansion.
Yeah. Right, now he probably ends up just throwing that priest to like air or maybe fire anyways, and it's not as nice.
Could be fire anyways, yeah. So looking at a good number of points on coats for Wisps, 4 + 8 + 2 + 4-ish. Good 18, maybe 20 points on the coats.
Yeah. Should be good.
Prospectors are sketching out their town. Going in this direction, it looks like a dwelling and 2 more TPs. That also makes their income situation the best.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think the interesting thing for Prospectors here is with going double econ, are they going to run into issues finding enough points? Because they also can't take advantage of the spade round. Earth 1 is gone. They're gonna build 2 TPs right here, potentially.
Hmm.
Just I really liked their position after round 1, and now I'm just wondering if they're gonna have
Hmm.
ceiling
Yeah, that
issues.
Earth One conspiracy, that successful conspiracy to block prospectors off it is doing a number on them.
Yeah.
Still, 3 towns, network win, Earth code win, some points on codes. I think we're probably seeing a 8-point town to get that 2 priests from the Earth code from prospectors,
Yeah.
and they're sitting at a reasonable number of points. I think that's a lot of score coming their way.
Yeah, I guess that's true. They have a lot of other ways to get points.
And seeing this F3 dig, so it's not an E8 dig.
It's nice for Parrots.
And this is like wanting to get access to H3 with only 2 ship, perhaps?
Yeah. Either that or just he thinks Wisps are in a better position than Parrots and wants to give Parrots the leech.
Yeah, Parrots are not in a great position. This lack of coins is really rough. I don't think they did not get a single coins action. Prospectors got around 1, Chaos got around 2, Prospectors got around 3.
Yeah.
What have they been spending their leech on, or have they just not been getting any leech? There's the C5 single dig.
Done 2 single digs.
The F6 was a single dig. Ooh, that was rough. If that was like a power dig.
And I don't know what else. They just haven't gotten very much leech.
And they also need a bridge now for the southern town. So
Yep.
that's another 3 of their power gone towards something that's not coins.
Soon we'll see that bridge now here from Wisps.
The priest went to air, so this is probably hopes of securing burst on air, or at least making a play for it, and scoring 4-8, 2-8 perhaps, 22 points on the coats.
Oh, this is interesting.
This is interesting. This is because they have a coat spade incoming.
Yeah. Although they could have Colt spaded B3 and then just built it and upgraded B3. But this works too.
It does make the continuation easier because you need 3 digs either way.
Yeah,
in
that's
both
right.
directions. But this puts the coat spade to very good use. Very.
The flip side is that if you get to B2, then you open some new territory up for yourself. Like by going this way now, I don't know where he's going after this. I guess maybe he builds a stronghold and flies to D2 or something and just continues to be disconnected.
That makes sense. I think that is probably the plan. We'll see like no ship from the Wisps. Or yeah.
Well, and then he can continue to invest his priests in the cults, which he's clearly going for. So
yeah. Wisps could still go for connection though. And it's an easy way to get out all that dwellings around 5 with all the blues on the board.
Yeah, that's right. A late shipping spree. They just have to get to 3 and not lose E4.
Not easy, but Brown might not be interested in digging that anymore. So there's a chance.
True.
Parrots are too poor for ship upgrades. There is a chance.
There is.
You also kind of need I4 unless you want to invest more digs. So
yeah, it's a lot.
But we'll assume that all goes well. There's like 5 more blues just waiting to be built on around 5. That's actually a ton of points if they.
That's true. That's true.
Off.
Yeah, it's a lot of coins too. But I guess he's got the round 4 coming in, so he can see what is open. Oh, interesting. Prospectors go with the dwelling to finish this town instead of a TP.
Ah. It'd be like balancing out the economy a bit. I think the TP makes some sense in light of the round 5 dwelling round. It also makes it also gives you another option of going for like a air 1 scoring method. But yeah, another consideration is Brown might want both water 1 and air 1. And
yeah, this saves one
uh,
TP for a later water 1 score. And connects him on 2 ships instead of 3. There's the 8-point town as you called.
2 priests incoming for prospectors, and maybe also 3 ship. Are they getting coins action? That would be absolutely wonderful for them.
I doubt it.
But even without it, they could do 3 ship,
True.
have 8 more coins come in next round from the Earth Code, and have a lot of open browns. Although one just went, but they'll still have a lot of browns and a lot of like 1 take 2 browns incoming. 3 ship for round 5.
Yeah, still nice position for prospectors.
I think this is also why I like the trading post a little more, because we are doing ship upgrades this round, and those coins seem to be it's resource wise is a trade-off between 3 coins and 1 power versus a worker.
Yeah, you spent 6 coins on the dig plus the dwelling as opposed to a net of 0 if you just build a TP.
True. That there's also that dig that scores, but those 4 coins could have been repurposed towards
Right. Now he's a little tight. Like he can do 3 ships, but he can't build dwellings. I actually wonder if he probably wants to wait on the dwellings until next round anyways, though. So maybe he doesn't care. And he's got 18 coins coming in as of right now. So
that is crazy. Yeah, so maybe the workers are more important. It's kind of hard to math out.
yeah. One thing that could be fun for prospectors is if he does go to 3 ships, is we could see B5 and then D8 and then try to build that town a long way
It's
around.
looking like a pretty attractive town. 2 digs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we will need a couple of upgrades. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, like reminds me of another consideration for E8 is that prospectors this way do keep more of their trading posts for town building. Because to do the D8 through G7 town along with the F5 town means that they'll have to build up more as opposed to building out more, and the trading posts will come in helpful.
Right. And unless you wanted to do, I mean, I guess they could have done the double dig on like I10 or E11, but that's one more dig than just doing E8. So
yes, so we're trading like the dig for E8 and building our dwellings there instead, and building out on the right.
Yeah. Although also with Chaos putting a Cult Spade on B6 and now upgrading D7.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if they might be going for that spot, and they'll beat prospectors there if they want it. So prospectors might have to go find a town elsewhere. He could probably do it off of B2 or C1 also.
I think we saw Parrots get a healthy influx of coins, and they have also taken water 1. A lot of sword coming their way from the favored tiles. And still a lot of resources to play with this round, especially if they dig H8, they could complete a town. Maybe just a little short.
Yeah, he's 1, unless they want to use the priest as a worker, they're 1 worker short of that town. but they don't need the town this round. I would say even just like build G6 and 4 trading posts or 3 trading posts, 3 or 4 trading posts is probably pretty good.
That actually sounds like a great plan. They are unfortunately on the dwelling tile and not the trading post tile, which would
Oh,
make the plan
damn.
super good. Often preparation for the round 5 dwelling round. But I think this you could still do some slight preparation for the round 5 dwelling round, and you can unlock Chash's ability that I feel is less used, which is the 3 coins and 4 coins under the third.
Yeah, those late trading posts are very nice for them. Now, if he gets a little more leech here, he could actually maybe get single spade for H8, and then he could do the town.
Mm-hmm. A lot of options, though. All pretty good.
Yeah. Well, and Wisps here need to build a temple because they're out of trading posts. But of course they do it down there where they don't give any leech away. So I guess Wisp could just throw a priest to a cult to get some coins or power.
Very nice. Air 1 score incoming for Wisps.
Oh, yeah.
Parrots are a little behind on score, but they have a chunk of resources. So maybe it's Chaos that's a little behind on score.
Yeah, and they're the only ones not on a scoring tile this round also.
And their favorite scoring tile, the ship score, is currently being occupied by Prospectors, who might take a little longer to pass.
He has, by the way, just with this temple that he built on D7 this round, he took water 1, air 1, which I find a little bit interesting. I like the water 1. Not so sure on the air 1. I think I might have taken water 2, actually.
And maybe make a play for the Earth Cult or put some pressure for.
Yeah, you can put some pressure on the Earth Cult, get an extra coin there. It also probably locks you into second place on water, which is going to be worth some points. I just don't know how many points he's actually going to score off this air 1.
And this does speak to another trading post this round, right? Also frees up another dwelling, so 4 dwellings to build next round.
Yeah, he'll probably build
3
one.
spots.
Well, Prospectors are now at 3 ships, so let's see what fireworks ensue.
I still like the D8. Does that look safe enough? I think so, right? Because Parrots are gonna just build their town towards the south.
I think if Prospectors build on the minute they build on B5, Chaos can just
might double dig D8. It's not super attractive town. It is like a double dig, a bridge, and you might have trading post issues.
Yeah. But where else are Chaos getting a town? I mean, maybe they just don't get one, but
Freeze to water for Chaos. Probably
well, Prospectors actually can't get there this round anyways because they don't have enough coins to dig B5 right now, unless they use workers, which I don't think they're going to do.
No. Yeah.
So I imagine he's just going to like pass for that TP scoring tile or something like that.
Having just 1 TP, although he could do like 2 more next round, does have a huge chunk of resources. Passing now will also give him the coins action.
Yeah, I like this. I like passing here a lot for him.
18, 19, 26 coins. 26 coins can be spent in a hurry. If we go like every dig build is 6.
Yeah.
And you have to weigh between dig build versus just build on natural browns, but that's not very conducive towards forming the 3rd town. I think Prospectors almost certainly have 3 towns. Right? They're basically
Yeah,
with a sanctuary for maybe Fire 2, round 6 if necessary. It's more a question of where they
yeah.
carve it out
I think they
as
could
to
probably
like if
do
they're
it.
able to.
I think they can probably do it even without
Mhm.
the sanctuary. I mean, they could potentially build a stronghold in round 6.
Mm.
He does go ahead and pass. Wisps are very sad to not get that TP tile.
Wisps passing on to ship score, going for they are a bit short for 3 ship though, both priest wise and money wise. If they still
Yeah,
this is a little
a
awkward, I
little
would say.
awkward. Yeah, I wonder if he regrets. He sent the last priest to air to lock
Mhm.
up air, and I wonder if he should have just passed because Parrots didn't have another priest.
For the TP and for coins.
Right. Now he gets neither.
I think that makes a ton of sense because you actually do need that priest too for 3 ship. So instead of sending priest to
Right.
air, you can't spare that priest. You pass on
Right.
to ship score and you grab coins, which gives you 18, 3 ship upgrades, 12, and 3 dwellings. It does require that the blues remain open, particularly E4, which, depending on what your read of the situation is, may or may not be true.
Yeah.
I think it's true though.
Yeah, I don't think
Also,
prospectors are gonna. It's the opportunity cost for prospectors to hit that is too high, and Parrots don't have any shipping, so
it's for sure true if you don't upgrade ship. Like if you don't say I want to do it, no one's gonna like take E4. The question is if you make your intent, if you review intention and go
yeah,
like going through ship,
yeah.
if prospectors is gonna be itching to do something to E4.
Well, I think now that he passed on to ship scoring, though, he's almost certainly gonna try.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he's so short on resources. Coins action, yeah, coins action is gone. So you take priest, and that leaves you with 9, 6, like 14 coins, 15 coins, maybe 16.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So you're
depending on how many blues
building
you
two
get.
or three dwellings max, probably. Well, I guess you could. No, never mind. I was gonna say you could upgrade A7 and complete the town and take a ship town, but then you're low on
You also
worker.
run out workers, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still going to be strong though. 3 ship upgrades, ship score,
Yeah.
and yeah, and hopefully
And at
3
least a
dwelling, which
couple,
would be great.
you'll get a couple dwellings, right? Like
Mhm.
at
Yeah.
the very least you could get A7, A8, I4, I10, something like that. I mean, it won't connect you, but
Hmm.
it's still a decent number of points.
Hmm. Yeah. And being in the points, well, not quite the points lead, prospectors have actually overtaken, but still 68 plus 9 from the ship upgrades, plus 9 from the ship score, 18,
Yeah,
86, and then let's say 3 dwellings, 98.
not bad. I do wonder if that might have been such a big swing though, because not only does Wisp not get all this stuff by not getting the TP tile, now
Mhm.
prospectors get it instead. I mean, it feels like we're headed for a prospectors win now.
There's also, oh, it is a upgrade instead. So this is probably the ship town.
The town, yeah. I guess if he takes a ship town and then workers, he could still build like in the workers action, he can build a
Mhm.
couple dwellings at least.
Um, I think still 3 as opposed to,
Yeah.
well, there's really not, yeah, just 3 dwelling. He would need a worker action to, yeah,
Yeah, I'm
3
saying if he takes a
dwellings.
workers action,
Mhm.
then I think he might be able to build 3 more dwellings, which isn't too bad.
Okay, prospectors have 16 coins and 26 coins, and it's scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of, yeah, agree that they can't afford to take e4 or even like do anything to e4. And maybe, well, depending if they view Wisps as their biggest adversary at this point.
What they're probably more likely to take actually Prospectors is A4.
And there's like the third town spot.
The third
We're
town
looking
spot.
at B2, B3, A5,
Yeah.
A4.
Yeah.
Pretty nice spot, especially now that D8 is confirmed to be gone.
Yeah. Well, and Parrots helped Chaos a little bit by they built on A11, and so now Chaos will have another neighbor for that town.
In a way, Chaos also helps Parrots because then this takes away the Prospector's reason to do B5.
Right.
Which means that Parrots can also make a town there.
You make a town there. Yeah. That's a good point.
So complicated.
So we might be looking at 3-town Parrots, 3-town Prospectors. Yeah, so here's B2. So yeah, I think this is what Prospectors are going for.
I agree for sure on the 3-town Prospectors. Parrots need a double dig, a bridge. I guess it's not that much. They're almost there.
Yeah, they might have to go
Agree.
fire 2 with Sanctuary, but
and we see a no income track gain for the Parrots this time around.
Yeah.
But still a booming economy, really showing the power of how like adding back the 2 coins to the income track for free.
Yeah.
That gives you like 12 more coins.
12 coins is really good. Who knew? But they're running into a bit of the problem, I think, that a lot of Parrots players can run into, which is just they're having, even with the 2 scoring tiles, it almost feels like they haven't had quite enough ways to score. I mean, if they get 3 towns, they're going to be pretty competitive, but I still think they're going to fall a bit short.
3 more towns. If you take like 997, that's 23. And plus the dwellings along the way with Earth 1. They're almost out of stuff to build though.
Yeah, they're running out of stuff. That's the problem.
And then maybe network. Network seems like a close race between Parrots and Prospectors.
Yeah, that's true.
How many structures can Parrots get down to? Like 3 left, maybe? They need a sanctuary. They also need 3 ship.
They could get to 2.
Get to 2. That would mean
Well, I
sanctuary.
mean, they need another. Yeah, because once they get to 3 ship, they can throw the last dwelling on F2. I don't think anyone's taking that.
It is 13 workers to get to 2, which they have exactly 13.
Yeah.
Plus a double dig, plus a bridge.
Ooh, the double dig.
Okay, yeah, maybe they're almost there.
Double dig might be the double dig might be problematic.
Right, because there is no, unless you forego the town. Unless you I guess you don't forego. Also 23 coins for the buildings, but that's not counting the
and then 3 shipping.
Yeah.
Although he's got
ship upgrade.
23 right now, so.
So resource-wise, it's enough to build out all the buildings to get the 2 structures, but you need to materialize a bridge, a double dig, and 3 ship upgrades.
Yep. But he has whatever he would get from 3 towns to help toward that. So
seems close.
Feels possible.
Also disruptible by Prospectors throwing a dig at F2 to like at least tie for first in network. Because Prospectors is getting down to 2 structures. They could get down to 2 structures. But that would involve not building any of the big buildings.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to want to build one of them.
Or could he build a stronghold and still get down to 2 structures? It's close. Is it?
Yeah, although once you build all the dwellings this round, the stronghold isn't as interesting. I actually feel like the sanctuary is the better big building for him to build, although then that doesn't help toward the two structures as much because it leaves the temple sitting there. So interesting. Wisp did take this ship town, and they're at 3 shipping.
And one
He's
more.
only got 7 power, so even if he took the workers action, he could only build 1 or 2 dwellings more.
Yeah. Could do it without a worker's action too, just to
Just
convert the
do-
worker,
yeah,
to dwellings, which seems like seems like the path forward. It's a little sad looking at 4 dwellings on the board and all these blues out there
yeah.
in a dwelling round. But this already puts with the 84, 6, 94, 98, which is going to pass at 107. Also somewhat competitive on network.
Yeah, I think he can at least get 3rd.
This is for sure not what I would have predicted, but maybe I need to recalibrate on Wisps because they are like in the game with green and there is a little bit of attention there, but all the blues on the left are untouched, and this
Yeah.
makes it easy for Wisps to expand at the end.
Yeah. Well, and the stronghold next round is a very cheap 12 points.
I also like the planning on Wisp's part that they put out all their trading posts already, and the rest of their expansion is via shipping, so they don't need to use the trading post ability. It's
Yeah.
beautiful planning.
Yeah, that is really nice. Passing is a little interesting here. We've got dwelling scoring available. Wisps probably only have 1 more action. So would Chaos or Parrots potentially pass a little bit early? I'm gonna guess no. If Prospectors want to do everything that they're planning this round, they may be the ones who get stuck without a tile.
As they pass after
They pass after Parrots.
they will be the one that's stuck without a tile, unless like Parrots pass first
Right.
ahead of Chaos.
Which would be interesting too then, because that's the big building tile then that Prospectors are sitting on. And we were just talking about how they may not be interested in building both because there might be tension between that and their network competitiveness.
Yeah, it's always I think comes up with Prospectors with big building in the final round, because Prospectors can quite easily build out all their buildings other than the 2 big buildings.
Right.
Which leaves you like tied for first in network or like outright winning network. But having 2 structures versus 3 structures can be a pretty big difference. And like in this game, it's going to swing 6 or 12 points.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like with the Prospectors, if you're gonna build the stronghold, you want to build it in round like 4 or 5, and ideally in a game where there's a bunch of TPs on the board. Like this actually would have been a good game to build the stronghold a little earlier.
That makes sense. And it's not something I would have predicted looking at the track.
No.
But maybe it's something that one could have predicted looking at Wisps.
Yeah, I think Wisps. Well, and then also maybe what you could have seen in the track was, as you pointed out earlier on, there was no TP scoring in the game at all. And so people weren't waiting for a particular round to do it. They just kind of did it as part of their natural expansion. Whereas sometimes if you get that like round 5 or round 6 TP round, people hold off
sure.
in a way that they might not otherwise.
That makes sense to score that 12 or 24 with Model 1
Right.
round.
Well, Wisps did it. They got connected.
E4, 92, 96. Am I counting this right? 96 with air 1 and then passing for 103. I think I got 107 incorrectly a while back. very comfortably
One
ahead of score, ahead of chaos.
105, right?
105. Plus 9. Plus
Yeah,
9 ship. Yeah.
105. Some interesting Colts too. For next round, there might with some sanctuaries coming. You know, Earth 3 is an interesting pull right now, and
That's the other
there.
tension that I'm not always a big fan of. Is like the cult tension versus the the network tension.
Yeah.
It feels stressful, I think, which is why not a huge fan of it. Especially like I'm sitting there and go like, are you gonna take X3 and like just pass me like codes?
Yeah. Well, it's much more sort of swingy
Mhm.
than the network. You can kind of usually get a pretty good idea, unless someone blocks someone out of their way. But otherwise, you usually have a pretty good idea of where it's going. Whereas literally any of the four factions could take Earth 3 right now and just swing it massively.
And also, yeah, there's Air 3 also in play for Trash.
Yeah, maybe
I'm looking at something for Trash. I'm wondering if we take single spade on B5.
right now. Yeah, see
Because you
that.
kind of need a double dig, but you also don't want to spare workers to do that. With like 10 workers, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you build a stronghold, tempo, a TP, 2 dwellings, assuming F2 remains. But you need all 10 workers for that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point.
Oh, we see Prospectors committing on the third town spot.
Interesting.
Some disruption along the way.
Yeah, it blocks up blue.
Wisps have 4 more blues to build, 4 more dwellings to build, and so it does block a material blue.
Yeah, Wisps are a little short on workers for next round, and they definitely want to build the stronghold.
4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 6 workers to build a stronghold and 3 dwellings, since the stronghold gives you a
Gives you
free
one.
dwelling.
Yeah.
A princess worker, yeah. I
And he
think
does have 3 open blues. So
yeah, so it's those 3. It's just that using the priest as a worker, he could have done 4, but one of the blues just got blown up.
yeah.
So that's kind of the extent of the Wisps game. Another stronghold, not another stronghold, a stronghold, plopping down dwelling, another 2 dwellings, and that's kind of it.
One more priest to a cult probably, and that's probably it.
Water coat maybe.
Yeah.
It might not be enough. 105 is a pretty strong score now, but the final round score, 12 from the stronghold, 6 from 6 from dwellings. That's 18.
Maybe
3
6
from air 1.
Air 1, yeah.
21, 27-ish, 28-ish, 133, and then winning kind of defenseless on the coast though.
Yeah, like maybe 1.
Because chaos might not have much to do except
Yeah.
there's the dig, but it's a direct double dig.
Yeah, Fruity's probably finishing a little under 150. I don't think that's gonna be enough. Maybe.
This was such an interesting situation for Cash because I think the double dig was painful, but single dig leaves a blue open for Wisps to throw a dwelling onto B5, which is like not connected.
Yeah, the fact that it's not connected makes me think it's unlikely he would have done it, but I guess I can understand.
Mhm.
The concern.
It's a yeah, but ended up being a rough situation for Wisp, who had to spend, I think, convert a priest to worker to do that.
Well, and he did Parrots now get to pass on to the big building tile, so he got a couple of those workers back that
Oh,
he had to
true,
spend on the
true.
hard dig. So that
That
helps.
is the 10 workers. Okay,
Yeah.
so wait, is this enough? 10 workers is enough for the buildings. 18 coins is enough for the buildings. He needs 8 more coins for a ship, which a coin town will give him that. So as
Point
long
down
as
would do it.
F2, yeah, as long
Yeah.
as F2 remains, it's and he has a ton to spare. If F2 remains, he has a ton to spare and also 2 favor tiles along the way. But I think one of which has to be Fire 2.
Fire two. Yeah. Fire
There's
two,
maybe also
Fire
the
two, air three looks pretty good.
yeah, Fire 2, Fire Air 3, Fire 2, Earth 3. Couple good options. The stronghold has to be a no-go, right? Or does it? Because it is 9 points. 10 points. 9 points for Parrots.
Yeah. I
It also means you don't need Fire 2. 9 points and you don't need Fire 2.
yeah, but then you give up the dwellings, right? Do you have enough?
And I don't think you have enough.
I don't think there's enough. Well, maybe if he took a worker town with that spare town.
Actually, yeah, it might be enough.
Might be enough.
It might be enough if there's because he'll get a coin from Worker Town Coin Town will give him enough for all of that. That's crazy. Oh my god.
If he does all that and wins air, maybe he's competitive. Which is so funny. Early on, we said he was in the worst position.
It is trading, yeah, it's trading Fire 2 and 2 more workers and a coin for 9 points. Fire 2 doesn't give you a whole lot, so yeah, that seems better.
I mean, he is a bit behind on banked points.
Yeah.
Only 78 is a little low.
And
So
building out the towns is only 12 more because he needs the resources.
right.
He'll score another water one and 2 more earth ones along the way. It looks a bit low. It looks a bit low on
Yeah.
bank points. Codes aren't great.
It's a little
And
low.
network is still like probably at best a tie with prospectors. And prospectors still can fiddle with F2. Make it
Right.
blue, make it gray, whatever.
Yeah.
It costs 4 coins.
Yeah. And prospectors still have 4. I mean, they're the ones who didn't get onto a pass tile, as we said, but they also still have 2 towns coming.
Yep, with a much stronger point start.
Point start. Yeah.
For
I think it's gonna be close. And then Chaos. We haven't talked about Chaos for a while, but he's in position to build this town. I think we might get a Chaos stronghold, which will be fun.
yeah, that makes sense as the as the way to finish out that town. Although maybe Chaos also wants 2 more temples. So you could do like stronghold, trading post, 2 more temples. Just not build any more dwellings. You have nowhere to build anyway.
Yeah, he doesn't have anywhere to go, and he's not competitive on network unless he tried
Like
to do
get like
advances
all the
digging. But
threes.
no, I don't
Water
think.
3, Earth 3, Air 3.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, water 2, water 3 wins, steals water.
Yeah, I guess Air 3 doesn't do anything, but Water 2, Water 2, Water 3, Earth 3.
Fire 2.
So if we're looking at stronghold, trading post, 2 more temples. That's the bulk of his resources. Maybe like stronghold, 2 more trading posts, 2
Yeah,
temples.
he wants a ship advance too because he's on ship scoring, so it's a 7-point ship advance.
Oh, I didn't see that he was only on 2.
But he'll pick up a good amount of power. So there's fire 2 and earth 3. Because then, yeah, now he can still go water 2, water 3, and I don't think Wisps are gonna fight.
No. Yep. Yeah, just double checking to see they can close out the codes. Although I'm not so sure about this fire two, because he only have one key.
Oh yeah, he
This
should.
is might be an awkward spot where
Yeah,
you actually have to do maybe water two, water three first.
first. Although that then closes water. Like what you really want to close is earth.
Hmm.
You want to do like water to earth
Or
3.
three first. Take that step. Yeah, because Wisps can't afford to take a. Well,
No,
I mean, they could, but it's just so bad for them compared to their other choices.
I think he might be realizing this as we are talking about it.
The A12 upgrade also makes me think that he doesn't have Stronghold in his plans. Like maybe the remaining of the resources are going towards like a dig upgrade.
Yeah. I mean, he also doesn't actually need fire too.
Hmm. Yeah, if it's like the Stronghold route.
Yeah, so I'm a little curious as to why he bothered, but he went for it.
With a worker town too. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so maybe this is dig advances. Is
Uh,
there a world where he has enough to get another town if he like digs B3 C2 or something like that?
no, no. Yeah, there's no way. It's a bridge, 4 digs, starting from no upgrades. Yeah, I'm not sure of this worker town. Might be a little bit of a time pressure too,
I
because
mean,
I
he
think
actually does have enough if he doesn't get blocked. He could do 2 dig upgrades
mhm.
and build B3 C2 and then build a bridge to D4.
Oh my God. Yeah, wait, no, he's short the dwelling.
Oh, so close.
Wait, but for 2 dig upgrades for workers, and then let's say he had a
He
dwelling.
actually has the
Four
workers, but
workers,
he's a
five,
little
six, seven, nine,
coin. He's a
10.
little coin short.
That's crazy. I did not believe it. You're
I just didn't know.
absolutely
I didn't
right.
notice he didn't have 2 dwellings.
You're absolutely right. I hope he did not like calculate your line and
And also not realize that would
end
be
up yeah, end up a dwelling
yeah.
short. That's crazy. That's so much to dig through. Well, so little, I guess, to dig through B3, which is a triple dig for chaos.
Yeah.
Also, like everyone is very vulnerable to prospectors if they try anything funny or ambitious. Most ambitious might be like chaos, not chaos, parrots going for F2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was also just thinking the other place. I mean, Chaos taking fire too is making me think about if he's trying to get another town somewhere. The other
Mhm.
thing I guess he could do is I think he could double dig F2 and then hard dig F1, and I think he would still have enough to build two TPs, and that would be a town.
Yep. Hmm.
Like, I don't know how good that is, but it's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
possible.
8, 9. Mhm.
Could do it.
It looks like it is that plan.
That looks like maybe the plan, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, upgrade in preparation for building 2 dwellings, F1, F2.
I'm not sure it's better than the original plan you had of just building up as much as possible.
It's trading all the resources for the dig, the double dig, like 6 coins, versus you could trade 2 workers and 3 coins for 3 points along the way. And you could also just take a better town.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one consideration is probably that Chaos is not going to be competitive on network. Like a tied for third is probably the best I can hope for.
I'll get to
1, 2, 3, 4. No, maybe down to 3 structures, a third.
13.
Third ahead of Wisps.
They build 2 more. They'll be at 13.
Because maybe the tempo for Water 2, Water 3 is not worth that much. It's only passing 1
Yeah.
opponent, only 4
Yeah.
points.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's a little hard. It's definitely hard to math out. And I think Chaos also ran into a little of a time pressure. Where I don't think they're playing with like strict time, like, oh, like chess clock, where, oh, you're flagged or something.
Yeah.
But it's more of a, yeah, gentleman's agreement that,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
it's time to make a move type situation.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna boot anyone in the Premier League, but don't abuse it. I think Chaos and Wisps are gonna tie for third, it looks like.
Wisps having one more, no more because nowhere to put their last.
He doesn't have a
The number of points is looking pretty scary. I think that's probably also part of the reason that caused Prospectors to plan their town in a way that destroys the blue.
yeah.
Could have also gone for the A4, like you mentioned, A4, A5, E3, B2.
Yeah, A4 actually would have destroyed 2 blues.
Oh, you're right. Maybe it was too late at the point because I think Prospectors did hold off on town planning for a long time.
I think what it might have been is they wanted to build the dwellings and TPs last round, and A4 was not a TP spot. They might just not have had the resources to do like A4 and A5 or something like that, or P3.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could see that being the reason too. This could be a no big building for Prospectors. Maybe did they just take a they took a leech 2 for 1.
They're gonna have to build. They're gonna have to build something to get their third town.
Yeah, probably still the big building then because it gives you an immediate yeah, it's so cheap coins wise at this point.
You mean the stronghold?
That's the stronghold, yes.
Yeah, they
Like
might.
coins wise is practically free because he
They
also
have to. Yeah.
one more dig. So that saves 1 there plus like 8.
Yeah, the sanctuary would be nice because they could take like a air 1 or something, but I don't know if they have enough resources to do it that way. Unless they take fire 2 with it, but that's not helpful. You might as well take the stronghold at that point.
Chash is also making sure. Oh, the other side effect of this is that Chash just lost F2.
Yeah.
I'm liking this chaos line a lot more. I think it could very well be the strongest because this way chaos ties Chash on network for 2nd place. This is 9 points on network.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah, down to 3 structures. You need a trading post, 2 more dwellings, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a hard dig somewhere. Anywhere, yeah. And also enough for, and you still have enough to take a good town and also do the ship upgrade.
Doesn't Chaos need 2 hard digs though to get 2 dwellings?
Oh, 2 hard digs.
Well, if he wants 2 dwellings and the
And you still have enough to take a good town and also do the ship upgrade.
doesn't Chaos need 2 hard digs though to get 2 dwellings?
Oh, 2 hard digs.
Well, if he wants 2 dwellings and the town. He could obviously hard dig H1, but that doesn't then he doesn't get a town.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. So he doesn't get the good town. I missed that hard dig.
But maybe with a worker town, he has enough. Or there are no worker towns.
He does want to do that ship upgrade that
Yeah, he does also want to
points
do
that you
that.
said.
So
But then it's also leaving Earth open for prospectors to tie on Earth with like a priest bump.
yeah, well, if he gets this other town, then he can do that.
Yeah, if he gets like a yeah, there is a ship town left. Or
Well, he only needs one step.
Okay. Yeah, I guess he'll be able to manage with the various ways, like priest town, ship town, coin town,
He has the
something.
stronghold.
Given.
Oh, maybe not.
Maybe on the far end first to complete the town first. It's not common that you have a couple of like tricky decisions end game where like giving your opponents 2-for-1s could actually swing network against you or like
Yeah.
swing codes against you. But I think this is a consideration on the prospector's end right now, making sure that nothing can move. I think network is safe at this point. Nothing can move the codes or give the opponents more ways to be on the codes.
I think he went for the town first to get the priest town in hand so that he could close Earth before Chaos gets another key.
Oh, that makes so much sense. This is back to Chaos's pain of only having one key.
Right.
And going too far on fire.
Right.
That's the
Yes. And Fire 2 actually it really hurt him in a lot of ways. I mean, it helped him if he's going to get the second town, but it's going to cost him Earth. Chaos is going to be able to get another dwelling down, though. So he'll pass Wisps and tie Parrots on network, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
He's just going to have to take.
This is
I have to take like a power down.
This is not the coat bump though, which was looking pretty attractive.
Oh yeah, interesting.
Not sure which other consideration we might be missing. I think raw number of points wise, Chaos is still too far off.
Yeah.
Coats give him like 22 if he wins.
22, yeah. Well, if
he doesn't, yeah.
But no, he still won't because he's still 2 actions away from closing it. So prospectors could go right now.
But Chaos could do like if they complete their town now, they have the threat of.
Oh right, they had tempo. My bad. Yeah. So they are gonna get it.
Like maybe prospectors need that priest.
Yeah, do they need it as a worker
or something? I don't think so. I think the remaining thing is just dwelling.
Maybe they have enough to do like dwelling TP dwelling.
It also doesn't make a ton of sense because the dwelling doesn't score.
Right, and he's already winning, and he's winning network outright anyways.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that seems like maybe just a misplay.
I think this Earth swing could be huge if they're directly at odds with each other.
I mean, I think prospectors are beating Chaos either way, but it could be relevant for prospectors relative to Wisps or Parrots.
They lose 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like let's say they lose 12 on network on codes, but they win back 9 on network, And so even with Chaos's ship score, it's not enough to catch up the current 22-point gap.
Yeah. Well, and so it looks like Wisps are going to hold on to water and maybe tie air. So that's actually better than I might have guessed.
All the factions really enacted their game plan. I think I was a little worried about Parrots somewhere around round 2, round 3, but they've completed their 3 towns and they were just a little short of hitting 15 network, only destroyed by
Yeah.
being in the way of Chaos's town. Like, of course, yeah, like Prospectors might have disrupted them, but they were just a little bit off. Wisps connected, built a lot of blues, and also we're pretty close to getting to 14 structures, if not for, again, being in the way of someone else's town.
So Wisps are going to finish with 15, 17 cult points. So they're going to get 151. And Prospectors still have a town. Plus, looks like 9 cult points plus 18. So 27. 139 plus the town if they take if they take the 11 pointer. So Prospector looks like they're gonna win by just a couple points. If I'm doing my math right.
The 11 pointer, 124 plus network 142. Might be a little more than that.
Like 5 or 6 maybe.
Yeah. So have a couple priests throw around.
Yeah. Oh right, I didn't count the dig point, and they've got a couple priests. Yeah.
Maybe a trading post with 3 points. Could just priest the water.
Priest the water.
Dig 3 points. So we have Prospectors first with second. And this looks like Chash. Chash this time Chaos on network. So Chaos third, Chash fourth.
Yeah, I think that's right. And decent recovery from Chaos. After round 1 went so poorly for them. And a good comeback from Chash too. Their position looked really rough, and they finished quite nicely, but it's just a little short.
I still don't know if we should have accounted for the E7 dig in the bidding. Or if
Yeah, we probably should have.
I think probably, yeah. I think it gets a little more attractive if Wisps are not placed on D5. Just a little less a little less
Yeah,
but just by
yeah.
a little.
The D5 was surprising. And so I think if they're on G6 instead, it's a very different consideration set.
This is annoying to the extent that, like when there's red and green on base map and there's like, oh, do you count for the E7 dig in the bidding? Like, are Chaos going to take ship score just to get 3 power to dig it? And like,
Yeah.
how do you account for that? And now you have 3 factions that
Now you have an extra faction that has to think about it. Yeah. Well, Eirik is the defending champion of the Premier League, and so
nice
he
win. Nice.
has
win.
come out with a strong title defense in game 1, it would appear.
I think this gives a lot of support to the E7 dig.
Yeah,
also.
it looked really nice in the moment, and I think held up pretty well. The other interesting decision to me was when he went econ with the second temple after getting Earth One blocked, which I think in hindsight was the right move, but definitely an unconventional one for prospectors to take Fire One with a second temple.
Because really, I don't think prospectors got any particular good breaks. Like I would argue, they probably got some bad breaks. There was like the Earth one that they didn't were blocked out of, which could be bad, or like their game plan worked out pretty well with the two econ favors. There was, I think, the round 2 pass tile that they ended up on trading posts, and they built like 2 TPs. They built 2 temples, and that wasn't like the best for them. There was like round 6 where they didn't land on a scoring tile, and then chaos passed them on Earth. So I think there are a couple of like small to medium bad breaks along the way. And yeah, the fact that they pulled out the win after all that lends further support to
pretty
the
good.
E7.
They had two good breaks that I can remember were both pass tile related. In end of round 2 going into round 3, they got back onto the 6 coin tile and then got the
there was
coins
the
action.
Wisps pass,
And then there was the one where the Wisps didn't pass and gave them the TP scoring plus the another coins action. So I think prospectors got 3 or 4 coins actions this game, which is obviously pretty good for them.
Wait, did we miss Oh no. Close.
Oh, closer than I realized.
Yeah, closer. Yeah, closer.
I didn't realize chaos was as close as they were. Wow. Yeah, what, so 4 points for prospectors over Wisps? Yeah. Wow. Oh no, 5. No, 4. Yeah. Wow, great game. Closer than I realized. Awesome.
Very nice.
Very nice. Well, thanks to all the players and to you, Deep Finesse. This was fun.
Yeah, thanks. We're seeing the chat that I think prospectors are sad they gave away Earth for no reason. So it really should have been it should have been a little less close. It should have been a little less close.
Right. They should have had
prospectors at around 158 maybe.
Right. And chaos a few points lower.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Cool.
Are we getting Eirik here to chat for a bit, or I don't know how we tend to run these now.
I don't know.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hey, awesome job. I think we probably will call it there.
All right.
You guys, thanks so much for such an awesome cast. It was super fun.
Yeah, it was super fun to watch.
Yeah, it was great.
It was very well paced too. We wrapped up in like less than 2 hours.
Hey.
Excellent.
Yeah, and CM were sneaky in that. That was cool. That was actually pretty tight. And big ups to Eirik, off to a good start here.
Yeah.
Nice. Yep. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks to all the viewers. And next week I will not be streaming, but someone else will. How's that for a teaser?
There we go.
I'll be in Germany, but all right. Ooh. See you all.
All right. See y'all
later.